Okay, we are back. And some of us are drunk and arrested, and others are debating philosophy. And one of us has one leg. You
And
guess who?
that's also true for our characters.
Yeah, exactly. You
Yeah.
can't see our legs or tell how drunk we are. And 5 minutes is a long time to talk about philosophy.
It's true.
So, back at camp, at the logging camp, there's noise and what have you, as a soldier returns, panicky, looking for he's shouting lieutenant, and the lieutenant comes out, and I assume the two of you, go to check it out. And yeah, he's just exhausted, red faced. It's getting quite dark now, and he looks like he's been running hard. He has a bloody scratch on his face. His knees, the knees of his pants are all muddy and torn. He's run really hard and fallen a bunch of times. He's missing a glove. And he's just the rooster said to come back and tell you that there were soldiers in the woods, and I didn't see what happened, but one of them chased me and then I fell down, and then the rooster kicked him, and I don't. And then he just starts hyperventilating and kind of can't handle himself. So what are the two of you gonna do? The lieutenant just kind of looks to you
I say
time to rally the troops.
Yeah, I say get the boys some water. Or wave someone to come over and take care of the guy.
Okay, yeah, they bring over a copper cup of water, a mug of water, and he drinks it. It's taking huge gasping breaths.
Where is the rooster now?
When I left, he was with the prisoners, I think. I don't know. He said run. I ran.
All right, we move.
Good lad. Good lad.
Can I just sit? And he passes out. He just falls down on his face. It looks like he's can I just sit down for a minute before we? And then just bleh. As soon as his body thinks of taking even the slightest break, down he goes. So,
all right. So,
what do you want to do?
I don't know what route we should take.
Well, the thing is, we don't really know what the conditions are of the woodman and the rooster, right? So.
We don't know where that happened.
But this sounds bad.
Yes.
How many soldiers do we have, Adam?
You have about a dozen. Well, you have 11 now. You have 11 conscious soldiers.
Well, 11's a lucky number.
Right. Yeah.
So actually, Adam, I think we have 13, and now we have 12.
Well, now we have 12.
Well,
right.
I mean, you have 11 soldiers plus the 4 of you, so you have 15.
Right. They would the army would never send a company of 12 people out.
Right. Yeah. You're making note. 12, unlucky number.
Yeah.
It's how there's no 4th or 8th floor in
Right.
buildings made by Chinese companies and stuff. They'll just be oh yeah, the elevator, it goes 7, 9. There's no 8. 8 is
Yeah.
Right.
Eventually, architecture will be so multicultural that we just won't be able to make buildings at all.
They won't be able to have
I
numbers.
It's like a Borges story or something.
Yeah.
I think we split into 2 groups. One group moves quickly to meet up with Rooster, the woodman, and the others and secure them. The others have to move into position around Grostadt Manor.
Mm-hmm.
I think we follow the river with the majority of our forces.
Yeah.
Baker,
Okay.
can you lead those there? And I'll move to meet up with the rooster and the woodman.
I can.
Can she? Is she confident when she says that?
That's a good question. It sounded pretty confident to me.
Okay, I just want to.
Yeah, why are you second guessing her?
I was asking.
Shut up, Rooster. Shut up. You're not there. Stop andrewing from a distance.
All right, I think then we start moving.
All right, so you can make a strategy roll.
Okay.
And so strategy is used to choose the field of battle, move your army unseen through an area, basically put troops where you want them to be. So for tactical stuff, that's when Agnes will have to do her thing. But for you, yeah, where do
Gotcha.
you basically you make the roll and you can place these two little blips wherever
These
you
little
want them.
blips, right? Okay. I'm forking in strategy games. Is that's what it's good for?
Definitely, yeah, because you just played this out in your head.
Right. What is the ob here?
Let's say ob 2.
Okay. I wish I had. This is the thing that I'm still like trying to figure out in terms of how I want to play this game, which is that like the gamer instinct in me is like I should like push to get extra modifiers here.
Yes, no, that's how you play Burning Wheel. Do that.
I should.
do that.
Yeah, yes.
okay.
You should act like you can phrase it as a question, or you can be like, I'm gonna fork this, and then wait for me to be like, no.
Well, I guess so. So the other hand though is that if I'm interested in advancing something like strategy, which I am, I know that in the long run I'm going to need difficult.
Yes, you're gonna need to fail. So
Right. So, which means I don't always want high modifiers.
Right.
You know what I mean? But what did you say the ob was?
ob 2.
Okay. Can I take another +1 from the successful strategy run that we did before?
Not explicitly from that, but what you've created is a situational advantage where you already kind of had a plan in advance. So yes, you can have a die for that as well.
Okay.
So that kind of thing, like when you're looking for advantages, things like I'm hiding. Yeah, but we're in the woods. Give me an extra die, GM. Like
Right.
ask me for those things.
Gotcha. Is there anything that Agnes could do to help Basil here? Basil. Bazo.
B dash.
Bazo.
Bazo.
Yeah. Do you have any skills that could help in this situation? Agnes?
Inconspicuous?
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I like that a lot.
I think that's the only
you're
one.
on the ground. You're remaining. Well, let's
And,
read
I'm
inconspicuous.
sending.
Hold on though. I actually think stealthy would be more appropriate. Inconspicuous is more about being seen but not being noticed.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
no, I think in this case not so much.
Okay.
Okay, then I don't
Yeah.
think so.
Okay, that's fine. All right. Artha. Sob 2.
Okay.
There it is.
Okay, great. So
Cool.
mark
That's
your
routine.
routine test.
This is good. This is like good. Whoever made this like setup, good job them.
I
Right.
know, it's really nice.
It was a precursor to our even being able to play. I was like, I really want to play Burning Wheel, but we have to make it good in this environment first. Okay, so we're just click and hold on the map where you want to place the two tokens.
Sounds good. Let me actually just mark this routine. Okay.
And we'll jump ahead to the like
So I think
nighttime
it's-
raid after we see what happened with Rooster.
Right. The group that I wanted, so I wanted to send Agnes Baker's group up here to be like to the west of the manor, snuck up past like up the riverbank kind of, and then
and just for like total clarity's sake, this river goes on like way past the map.
right. Yeah, I gotcha. And then the other one, I was going to attempt to head east.
So like one kind of up here.
Right, one up there, and then one. I mean, is it possible for them to cross that river? Because you'd said before that
Yeah,
it might
how wide is that?
that it may not be.
We'll see. You can order them to. You're gonna tell me where you
Right.
want them to be.
That's
And-
the plan is for them to eventually be on the other side. But if that's the way, I don't know how. That's what I give her the order to do: is to be on the west side of the manor. You know.
Mhm.
Okay.
But,
So that's what your unit is doing, Agnes. You're gonna be up there.
Mhm.
Okay, and then where's the other unit?
I'm heading as best as I can to where the soldier who came back told me that Rooster and the woodsman ran into trouble.
So
That's
you're gonna
to the-
you're gonna head that way to where these
That's
are.
exactly it. Yeah.
Okie doke. All
How many
right.
bros are you taking?
And I'm taking less people than I'm giving to Agnes here.
Okay.
So of the dozen, I think she has.
Well, you have 10. You have 10 in the camp right now.
Okay, so then of the 10, I think I'm giving her 8, and I'm taking 2 more plus me.
Okay.
Awesome.
What are we doing with the guy who passed out?
He's watching the camp.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like armies never move around with just soldiers. Like
That's
there would be like 1 or 2 other attendant people.
Yeah, you definitely have like a couple. You have the soldiers. You have a couple of dogs. You have a cook. You probably have a prostitute or two, like just with the camp. So they're all chilling out, and he's with them. So, okay, so what we need to do is figure out, you've got the order, and the only obstacle that you need to deal with, Agnes, is, at least at first, the river. So you want to put them on, you want them on this side of the river, of Grashstead? That's the plan?
They're supposed to be here so that they can attack the manor.
Yeah, so you don't actually have to cross the river, but if you want to cross it twice, right, you want to like cross here and then cross back over here, or do you want to follow the river on this side?
It depends on the river. Can I discern like how crazy it is? Do we have horses to cross the river?
You do not have horses. They are all being used in cavalry maneuvers right now. Yeah, I mean, if you want to check out the river,
Yeah.
you can do that. Okay.
I'd say we just kind of go directly behind the logging camp and
Just take a
check
look
out
at
the
it and
river.
assess the
Yeah.
danger. Okay. What we'll do is you can make a link test. So make an observation or make a perception check first. I'll say ob 2, and if you beat it, you'll get a +1 to like actually crossing the river. You get an extra die.
Okay.
Bam, nicely done. So mark that routine perception test, and you'll have a +1 die when you want to cross it. Oh, it's a stat. There's no perception.
Oh, okay.
There's no
Yeah.
for stats. There's no routine.
Okay.
Okay, so the river. I'll tell you about the river, and you can decide if you want to cross it. So it's cold because you're up north. You're sort of further north from the city, so it's pretty cold. It's fast, but not like if somebody falls down, they might get swept away. So it's a little dangerous that way. And it's pretty wide, but not that deep. Like at its deepest, it's maybe like chest height.
Okay.
Your men are wearing like leather armor, so that shouldn't hinder them too much. It's too far like to jump. There's no like bridge across it.
Yeah.
But
Okay. I would say we would just stay to the east of the river.
okay,
Follow the
and
bank.
run the risk of like a villager or something spotting you. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, cool. And are you attempting to be stealthy on your approach?
Yes.
All right, let's roll stealthy.
So Agnes has played the
I
Oregon
am
Trail.
Not stealthy.
You come across some buffalo. Okay, so you're going to be opening your stealthy. So stealthy is based on speed. So you're going to roll speed.
Speed. Where are you? Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
Nothing. Obstacle.
And you have you don't have a bonus because you chose not to cross the river. Obstacle is just 1.
Okay.
And that'll determine when I make a roll for a peasant to notice you, because none of the soldiers are in this area. But
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
okay, so you got a ob 1 there. Make sure that you notice you're now learning.
Stealthy
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
learning stealthy. Oh, there's actually, hold on, you get to choose. So let me just consult my advancement procedures here, because I think that if it's, you can choose. You can either mark a difficult speed test, or you can start learning stealthy.
So yeah,
Okay.
you can either not learn the skill in order to just practice the stat, which is what I was doing with Will.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
earlier.
do you want your speed to go up, or do you want to start learning stealthy?
Yeah.
I think I'd like to start learning stealthy.
Okay, perfect. So just add it in and mark 1 test. It's going to
Okay.
take 8 more tests because your speed is only 1.
Woof.
Okay. So I'll introduce your complication, then we'll cut over because I want to see what Rooster is up to. So
Okay.
you lead these men along the river banks. It gets dark. It gets really dark. So you only have like moonlight coming through the trees. So it's slow going. And you come, I think, around this bend in the river here.
Mhm.
And this little house right here, it looks like a woodworker's house, because out back there's a bunch of like unfinished like planks. There's like a planer and a bunch of other like wood carving equipment. And as you come around the corner, you spot there's a woman holding like a bucket of like water. Like she comes to like throw it in the river, and she like stops and sees you, and her like eyes go wide, and she like takes a deep breath, and then we'll cut over to Rooster. So, Rooster, what are you doing? You have these two prisoners. Are you gonna tie them up, or like they're just like again they're dressed basically they're like the guards we saw before, but without the helmet or the tabard or the chainmail. They're just dressed like basically peasant militia. They were trying to be stealthy, so they took off their armor.
For the first little while, I just like kick the shit out of them. Like I give them a good solid beating before I even start asking questions.
Okay, so the other guard basically stands back during this while you like the guy that you kicked is on the ground, so you just keep kicking him with your metal leg.
You know, he doesn't always get the metal leg, but he's still getting the metal leg a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I start like once I get out of breath from beating the crap out of this guy, I like take stock and I'm like, where the fuck did he go? And I'm like looking for the woodsman, like, what the I'm doing this for him. Like, I don't say any of that out loud, but I like, yeah, I look around, I'm like, do you see where he went? And I'm asking the soldier.
And he like looks at you and shakes his head, and then he looks back at the other guy, and he's like holds his sword up at him, like, nope, I'm still paying attention to you. Like,
yeah.
Because it's getting quite dark now. And then he casts like a quick look at the like peasant soldier that you've just like kicked into unconsciousness, and who's like coughing up blood.
Yeah, how does he respond to this?
I mean, everyone here who is not you is thoroughly horrified by you.
Great. I'm just like, this one isn't talking, and I walk over to the other one.
And yeah, the other guy's like, oh no, and like puts his arms out, like, please don't kick me. And he like backs into a tree and is like, no, please.
And I'm just like, how many troops are there? How well armed?
It's like, what do you mean?
Tell me.
What do you mean troops? I don't.
Is it more like you?
The Duke has maybe 10, 15 men at most. He said to watch the road. I don't. Please stop.
Who's coming looking for you when you don't come back?
I don't know. Someone, I hope.
Someone. It's very helpful, and I like give him a good kick.
He like grabs his shin. Asshole.
You're gonna tell me something useful.
Okay. So why don't you intimidate him, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. Can I fork in brawling? Or some kind of violent skill? Or is that even relevant?
No, like it's not really. Yeah, you're not forking that in. Intimidate. It would be like. I mean, you have soldier wise, right?
Yeah.
So you can fork that in.
Give myself a +1. Well, what's the obstacle before I even go down this road?
Dos.
2?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Or wait, do you have intimidate?
Yep.
Oh, obstacle 1.
Okay, well, I won't even bother forking because I want a difficult test.
Okay.
Cool. Base obstacle 1. Yeah. Did it?
Okay.
Nice.
Did it do it?
I don't know. I haven't. Mine hasn't updated yet. I didn't hear the boop.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make it boop again.
Okay. Well, I'll believe you. There it is.
Nope.
There we go.
But
So I fail at intimidating him.
All right.
More intimidating.
So it's not that you fail at intimidating him; it's that he doesn't know anything useful. So he's just like desperately trying to think of something. Like he's like the Duke's wife. She has a weakness for chocolate. What? Please stop hitting me. Like I don't know anything good.
Cool. So I probably just end up beating him to death in the course of this.
Cool. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
I can't imagine how differently this is gonna go down.
Yeah. I mean, the soldier that's with you definitely doesn't try to stop you. Maybe at one point he's like, sir, and then it's just like, I don't want to get the claw. I'm gonna back off.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so like, and then I just like walk over to the other one with my sword and just like stab him in the heart.
Yeah. I mean, he was pretty much like gonna die anyway because you broke all his ribs. But
And then like wipe it off on him, sheath it, turn to my soldier. I'm just like, it's not that I don't trust you to watch these men, It's just that I need you for other things.
And I think this is when like Basil and you and your dudes show up. So let's cut over to the woodsman. So when you get taken by these guards, you're led through the village, like along the main road, and there's some more guards outside of Graustedt Castle, just standing like guard on the main gate. It's like it's not a castle in the traditional like a bunch of gray blocks with like parapets and shit on top. It's more of like a chateau. Like it's kind of nice looking from the outside. It's not just stone. It's stone and wood. It's got like fancy looking gargoyles laid on the outside of it. And this red building that you pass, it's the biggest building in the village. I mean, obviously aside from the castle. And it's like a church, basically. It's like a meeting hall and church. And as we talked about before, because we haven't really talked about like the religious stuff, there's like the old church and there's the new church, and the new church was the one that was like, yes, rise up against the hated aristocracy. This is a church in the old style. And as you go past, there's a woman outside who's like closing the shutters on the front of the church because it's getting late, like an older woman, and she looks over and kind of like scowls at you as you go by. And I think that by the time you're kind of midway through the village, there's a bunch of people that have like either like opened their shutters to like look like, ooh, someone's being arrested, something's happening. Are you making any effort to like hide your face or like?
No. So I'm pretty tipsy at this point, as we said. So I think like, I might actually be to the point where if they haven't like blindfolded me or like covered my mouth or anything, I may even like shout out loud as they're dragging me away, like, is it the policy of this town to arrest every traveler that tries to come through?
Yeah, and people are just like, who is this loud stranger? And like, yeah.
Like at the villagers as much as the
totally, yeah. What are you fucking looking at?
Appealing to
You
their
want something like that? Come out here. Awesome. Okay, yeah, they're like, oh, scary, loud outsider, oh boy, but still like definitely staring, and like you catch a woman like pick up her kid inside and not like pick them up to run away, but pick them up so they can get a better look at the weirdo. And you're taken up the hill to the guards out front of the castle and transferred to them. And there's a short conversation where one guard says like, oh, we found this hobo out on the road, says he was poaching in the woods, and the other one's like, poacher, eh? Good work. Take him inside, and they like open the front doors and lead you into Castle Graustedt. The inside of the castle is very dark. You get the impression that this castle was built to house either a very large family or several large families, but has not seen like a lot of people living in it for quite some time. All of the tapestries on the walls are moth-eaten and covered in dust. There's an old suit of armor propped up in one corner that's missing like one gauntlet and its helmet. The whole place looks like very nearly like abandoned. There's places where you can see the night sky through the ceiling. They take you down a hallway to some stairs that lead down into the dungeon of Graustedt. And there's a short argument about who has the dungeon keys, because they haven't used it in a really long time. One of them is like, get the keys, and the other one's like, but I said you had the keys. No, I don't have them. Klaus has them. And then like the guy holds you there while the other guard goes to find Klaus, gets the keys, comes back, opens the jail cell, and then they like push you in. They take your bow away. Do you have any other like weapons on you?
Yeah, I have a hand axe and I think a dagger.
Okay. Are any of those hidden? Like, is the dagger hidden or?
No, not really.
Okay, where do you keep it?
Just on my hip.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, so they take the axe and the dagger and the bow and they probably make a remark like, "Oh, you're very well armed for a poacher. I bet you expected trouble, didn't you?" He like shakes his head. And and they take them and they like they just lean your bow up against the wall like across from the cell, and they put your knife and your hand axe on top of a barrel that sort of serves as a little table nearby, and then again with like a very like a judgy shaking of the head, they're just like, "You'll get what's coming to you," and they like walk away. You can hear their boots like traveling up the stairs, and when they leave, you're just like in the dark, like it's just pitch black and smells like musty and like stone and rot down here.
Okay, well,
That's nice.
I have that observation skill, so maybe I can use that to ascertain.
Nice. Yes, totally. You wait for your like hunter's night vision to kick in. Okay. What are you looking for in particular?
I think primarily a way to get out. I'm not really interested in like learning anything about the place. I have the goal of exiting.
Okay. Yeah. Like they didn't take your flask from you, but it's empty. Okay. Yeah. Make an observation test. Just obstacle 1, and the more you get, the more I will tell you. Nice. Look at you. Good observation. Okay. So do you just observe with your eyes, or like what does this look like? Like if we were watching you in like night vision mode, what would we see?
I'm definitely like feeling around and trying to look around, like, you know, really sort of squinting and trying to make, or not squinting, but like, you know, my eyes have probably adjusted to the dark after a while, and just trying to make out anything I can, but I'm definitely feeling around.
Okay. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of light coming down from the stairs. Like there's probably a torch outside a closed door, but it's giving you some light, and you got cat's eyes down here. So you can adjust to that, and that gives you a very vague like outline of things. As you search around, you don't get the impression that this cell has been used in a very long time. Like it's not like you find like a pile of bones in the corner or anything. You find there's a hole in the back wall where there's like some like rat droppings, like rats come and go through that wall. The bars of the cage, the cell, are not super well maintained. Like they're a little loose, but they're quite like rusty and loud. So you think you probably could like kick the grate out, like if you kick the cell hard enough, but they definitely hear you upstairs. There's also little bits of like stuff that the rats have like scavenged, so like little pieces of like chicken bone, or like stuff that they've like snuck out from like upstairs or something.
Is there anything within the cell that I could like sort of hide behind if need be?
No, you're pretty out in the open. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll definitely try to kick out a rail regardless of the sound.
Fuck this cell, I'm gonna kick my way out. Okay, awesome. So you like lean back in the dark, take a deep breath, and go to kick the cell door out. Go ahead and roll your cell door kicking skill.
It'd be power, wouldn't it?
Yeah, this would be power for sure.
Okay.
And I think in this case it's like Ob 1, probably, because it's just shitty, rusty old bars.
Mm-hmm.
How'd we do? Oh, yeah, you do. Okay. So your intent, like I didn't interrogate specifically like what your intent was to escape, and it sounded to me like you were ignoring the noise. So yes, you create an escape route for yourself. You just boot the door as hard as you can, and with a loud crash, it like breaks free from the wall and hits the floor. And almost immediately you hear shouting upstairs like, "Hey, what was that?" And like running around like.
Okay, so before I'm not gonna even exit the cell or anything. I'm just gonna sit down right in the middle where they'll see me when they arrive. You know, just sit down like cross-legged or something and wait for them.
Awesome. I love how not like a typical like adventuring like D&D character you are. You're like, I have these great stealth skills, but fuck that, I'm gonna walk down the road. Or like, I kick my way out of this cell and I could just grab my weapons and fight my way out all Errol Flynn style, but no, I'm just gonna wait and be like, yeah, the cell door broke. That's so good. I love it. Okay.
It was not an act of escape. It was an act of protest.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, so back at the edge of the village, limbed in moonlight, and you have the like rushing water of the river behind you. This woman comes out to like throw at her like dirty washing water and like sees you and like gets startled. What do you do, Agnes?
So at this very moment, I'm just thinking like, oh shit, Basil didn't tell me what to do when this happens, because I'm not good at coming up with my own decisions. I take orders, you know. I'm an apprentice. I listen to other people. So I just kind of put both of my big giant flowery hands up like this. I'm like,
okay. All right. So the soldiers that you're with, like don't really know what to do. Like there's a long beat.
it's just a lady with a bucket, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like you have a moment to react. The soldiers are just like looking at you like, oh god, what do we do? And she, like, if it was an enemy soldier, they'd just be like, hurrah, attack. But it's just like a woman,
Right.
like a peasant, not like that she's a woman is the thing. But they look to you, and she doesn't know what to do, and she looks like she's about to scream. And if that happens, then there will definitely be guards. So, do you hesitate, or do you do something? What do? You just let her bellow?
She's going to scream.
Definitely, yeah. She like.
There's that like, yeah.
Oh,
Does someone in my party have a bow?
No, they're all armed with swords. You got knives.
Throw a knife in her throat. Okay.
I mean, you can cross the distance. There's like a short fence meant for like keeping out wolves, but you could probably like cross the distance, jump over the fence, and put a knife in her before she can scream. If you're fast,
I'm not fast.
you could try, or you could throw it.
God. I'll try to throw one of my knives.
Okay. So your intent is to kill
It's
her.
gonna be really bad.
Your intent is to kill her before she screams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I'm extremely conflicted.
All right. So let's see.
So
Knife skill. Let me just see. I just want to see what the what I should set the ob as. Probably something. Someone in chat. Throw bread at her. It'll go in her mouth, and then she'll be quiet. Yeah.
that's the perfect sound effect.
All right. We'll just say to hit her. It would be ob 1 if you're in the daylight, but it's dark, so let's say ob 2.
okay. Do I roll the knives?
Yeah, roll
Or
your
do I
knives. Roll your knives skill
Okay.
against obstacle 2.
Okay.
Plus any relevant fortune, which is unnecessary.
I like that was the sigh of a person who succeeded at a roll they weren't sure they
Yep.
wanted to succeed at.
I know.
Yeah, okay. So we know your immediate reaction, right? Where you're like, oh god, I don't know what to do. And then we see like the knife. And how does it work for Agnes? Is it like you've been trained at throwing knives, so just like muscle memory and then you realize what you did? Or is it a conscious decision to be like, I have to kill her?
It was a conscious decision.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
So you just like steal your will and you're just like,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Question.
Yep.
When we created characters, one of the things that we had to answer to determine our steel was, had we ever killed people before? Had we ever murdered a person or two people ever before?
I definitely haven't.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so this is a great opportunity for a steel test.
Wonderful.
So mark your
I'm sorry, that's not why I wanted to say that.
mark your routine knife test.
Your routine murdering that you
Okay.
just performed.
And let me find this.
I was just asking for me to know, like, oh,
yeah,
I
thanks.
make Agnes kill a person for the first time.
Okay.
Like,
so-
not in combat. You know what I mean? We mentioned that we'd all probably fought in combat, but not just like you murdered a person.
Hmm.
Not anymore.
Oh,
Should talk to Rooster for advice on how to cope with.
That's right.
yeah.
Get back to you on that one.
All right. So the obstacle for this test is going to be committing murder is +2 ob. Okay. So
They've got it.
yep.
Great.
The base obstacle is 1, so it's an obstacle 3 test. Obstacle 3 steel test. And if you fail, you hesitate for whatever your hesitation is. It's, I think, 10 minus your will. In like beats, in like not really seconds, but like moments. So make that steel test.
No modifiers or anything else?
You could have help, but no one is here to help you.
Yeah, no one's.
I guess here's the thing. Do you feel better or worse that you're with the soldiers? Is it like, oh god, I just murdered someone and you all saw it? Or is it like you were fighting people?
I feel like I've protected the group.
Okay, so I'll give you an advantage die for that, for sure.
Okay, sorry, so I modifier 1?
Yeah, modifier 1, no Artha, and then 3 obstacle.
Okay, sorry, this is like lagging for me. I don't know what's happening. Come on. 1.
We all want to know what the steel is.
And you said 4 obstacles?
Obstacles 3, yeah.
3.
Yeah, up 3. Nice! Fucking stone cold killer. You're just like, thump.
Yep.
Doesn't affect
Yeah,
you.
absolutely aced the roll.
Yeah, you maybe expect panic, but that's like, you did it as well as you possibly could have. So here's the thing I want to know from your character's perspective. There's this moment where you realize what you've done, and then you don't freak out. Is that because you don't actually care about it as much as you thought, or do you just like push it down? Like, how do you cope? Why do you succeed at this?
I'm almost positive that I'm pushing it down because this is completely new territory for me. I make bread.
Yeah. You're gonna make
And
sorrow funeral bread later.
I just knifed some poor water lady.
Yeah. The woodcarver's wife. Now she's dead.
Someone's wife / mother, almost certainly.
You just aced somebody's mom. So yeah, she like, it all happens in the span of a heartbeat, where she comes out, sees you, and goes, and then knife to the throat. Down she goes. She just falls. The barrel or the water she was carrying tumbles. Dirty water just splashes all over the place and mixes with her blood on the ground. And the soldiers look at you like, not shocked, not surprised. They're just like, fuck yeah, of course you did. Let's go. They're like, yes, you're a hero. You handled that like we expected you to. Onward. I'm
like, you know that thing where you like knock a glass over and you just kind of like stare at it because you're like, what just happened?
Totally.
I'm just like this, like after throwing the knife, like just kind of like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think that like you catch a couple of them, like they look at each other like, see, I told you, she's awesome. And then the nearest one to you like claps you on the shoulder like in thanks, basically. It's like, yes, good job. And then kind of like that like shakes you a little bit, but not like, they don't see that you're like having a moment. They're just like, yeah, good job, badass.
Yeah.
Claps you on the shoulder, and then they're like, okay, we gotta go.
So I let them continue along the river, and I quickly just go over to her. I take my knife, and I shut her eyes.
Okay. Cool.
And I take half a second, and then I run after them.
Awesome. Tango neutralized. So back at the crossroads. Basil, you and your dudes arrive where Rooster is standing near several corpses.
It's only 2 corpses.
That's several, right? Isn't it? Or is 3 several? Right?
Three is
a couple, a pair of corpses, a matched pair of corpses.
These guys weren't anyone's mom.
You don't know that.
It's true, I don't know that. So anyways, yeah, I'm just like standing over the one, and I'm like talking to this soldier quickly in like hushed tones, because I guess it's getting like, it's dark and we're kind of in like soldier mode.
Yeah.
I kind of survey the field and I say, Rooster, you're okay?
Yes.
Where's the woodman?
I don't know.
What happened? There's a tonal shift there that I don't know that I conveyed necessarily, but there was like, I was going for Basil to go from like interrogation mode to like, okay, what happened?
Yeah, and like maybe Rooster is still like, you know, brought to heel, like he's very much like in snappy soldier mode, so he's just like, well, we were following him, trying to keep him safe.
Mm-hmm.
Fuckers showed up, kind of got in the way of that. I sent whatever his name was,
The
sent
woodman.
boy down.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I guess he got there.
He did.
And by the time we were done dispatching these two, and I like shoot the soldier who was with me, this glare of like, you tell on me, I will fucking kill you. And
I love that, like, this is a trait of characters in role-playing games, that you can communicate in a glance. If you tell my friend here that I kicked 2 men to death, I will kick you to death next. He's not, he's just like...
the look is just like, shut up, and he just watched me kick 2 men to death.
Right.
Although I guess I stabbed one. Anyways, and then, and the woodsman was just walking down the fucking road. Didn't make a lot of sense to me. I was trying to help him.
It's unexpected, to say the least. I've sent the baker up to flank the manor.
What's that setting from?
Yeah. She'll be fine. What time is it? It's dark now, or it's getting dark?
Yeah, it's totally dark now, yeah.
I think it's time to move.
We better get going.
I think it's time, so I think we start heading north. Let me look at the map again.
Woodsman went down the road. Maybe we should go down the road too.
No. Maybe. Yeah.
And this is like, I'm phrasing it like it's a, like, ooh, strategy talk, but really it's just, I don't want to fucking walk through the woods with this. Are you kidding me? Come on.
There are so many of us, is the thing.
Enough to make noise in the woods. We'll get caught anyways.
Oh, I wish I'd given the baker more specific plans. All right.
And so, actually, sorry, I say one thing. This fucker, and I point at one of the corpses, probably the wrong one, like I don't remember it right.
Yeah.
This fucker says Baron's only got 10 men?
Minus 2, or?
10 left.
All right, then.
And they aren't fuck all. So why don't we just go kill them?
All right, let's march down the road.
Plenty of us.
Let's move quick. We have the cover of night. If we move through the village quick enough, we'll reach the castle before the guards arrive from the fields. Ready? Double time.
Yes, sir.
You're like, I have enough trouble with single time.
And so are we doing any kind of like army maneuvering move here? Should we be like making a roll to catch up in time or whatever?
I think this is like, I don't know if we should be making a roll, but I think that the plan really is just like, we have the cover of night, we have to move very quickly.
Yeah, like we just want to be quick, organized, and our objective is to get to the chateau.
Right.
Time to be of use.
Grouse that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's make a roll, right? One of you needs to, I think, roll probably speed in this case, because you are just trying to like book it.
Hustle. Yeah.
So, Austin, do you want to roll your speed, and then can I help with command because we're moving a party of people?
Sure. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Are you like in the back shouting, or not even shouting?
I'm like keeping people organized and like moving.
You're the hand signals guy.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. So that's a extra modifier of 1. I don't think there's anything else here for me to. I have hunting, but this is not. No. Okay. I don't have a horse, right? My riding skill is going to come in.
No, you're just walking.
Everyone's on foot. Yeah.
What's the op?
You want to get to the chateau quickly enough to be of use, but also go unnoticed?
Well, it's not about going unnoticed. It's about getting to the chateau before the guards who are not in the way can trap us. Do you know what I mean?
Being sneaky, we're just trying to be as fast.
If we can get to the head of the snake and deal with that before the guards hit us, then I suspect I can talk them down. You know?
Sure. Yeah. So we'll say ob 3 in that case.
It's a speed. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that was right.
Okay.
Okay.
It does not go the way you had hoped.
Does not.
So you head
Do
off.
I mark
off
difficult here?
Yeah. Mark the test. Yeah. And so we're coming up close to the end. So I just want to see what happens with. Actually, let's hold it. Are you okay with waiting to the beginning of the next episode to start with the woodsman and the situation in the cell? Okay. Cool, because we gotta have time to hand out fate
Right.
and what have you.
Yeah, so I guess this is our last little.
Yeah. So at the end of the session, we work through Artha rewards. So let me find the ways in which you are rewarded. Take a look at your beliefs, instincts, and traits, and we'll go through them. So we'll do. Let's do beliefs first. So if you manifested your belief in a way that affected your character's behavior, or your belief got you in trouble because of having it, or you pursued your goal but did not yet complete it, you get a fate point for each belief for which that's true. So if you're not sure, like, don't just assume no. Like, let's talk about it. So Basil, how about you?
Yeah, I think I get one for trying to figure out this curse stuff. That was a pretty obvious motivator for me.
Yep. Yeah, and that philosophy test, that's
Yep.
a thing. So mark a fate point.
Okay.
Rooster, how about you?
I think I pursued 2 of my 3 beliefs. I think I did my killing nobles thing because I moved things towards like violent.
Yeah. You're working on killing a noble. We'll see if you get to do it or not.
And then my second belief I was also working towards of wanting to like be palsy with the woodsman. I was trying to like help him out.
I mean,
so-
you didn't do it. I don't think that the woodsman likes you any more than he did before. But
No,
yeah,
but
okay, cool. So 2
in
fate
his
for
own
that.
way, Rooster tried to help. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, woodsman, how about your beliefs? Did you play to them?
You're muted, Colin.
Let's take a look at the
Okay,
woodsman.
so I think I definitely met my second belief about
risking your life.
risking my life without pause. I think I definitely did that.
Totally.
And the first one is kind of maybe a long shot. I think there's maybe an argument to be made for the time I, was sort of upset with those people.
You spent the entire episode pushing people away. So yes, because like the great thing about how beliefs intersect is that you and Andrew have beliefs that will get both of you fate points every episode, as long as you're just like, let's be friends. No, let's be friends. No, fuck off. Every time you'll just keep getting fate.
Yeah.
Okay. And how about Agnes?
I'm not sure if I did it. Because my hope was to get to that library in order to attain my knowledge.
But don't forget about your situation with Basil.
I had that conversation with Basil, where
Yeah,
I
definitely.
absorbed new material.
Yeah, that seems
So-
for serious. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely fate point worthy.
Yeah.
Like fate point is your like, it's like just even trying at it gets you the fate point. If you were like fighting for a persona point on it, that would be another matter.
Yeah, so take the fate point. You'll end up with lots of them. You'll spend them quickly. They'll rotate through quite fast. Like I was saying before, if you really play your character super hard, you're gonna earn. You can earn up to like 6 fate just for your beliefs and instincts alone. So mark that down. I don't know. Yeah, mark it on under Artha and Epiphanies. There's a little box for keeping track of how many fate you have. The checkboxes on the other sheet, the FPD, is for you to remind yourself if you do something that you think earns you a fate point. You can just check it and be like, oh yeah, I did that thing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to be taking notes as we go, and I would really love it if chat, if you have something that like an instance that we're forgetting where someone did something for their belief or their instinct, please like let us know when we're going through this, because you're paying more attention to the bigger picture than we are for sure. Okay, so for instincts, if you played an instinct when that gets you in trouble or creates a difficult or awkward situation for you. So let's keep it with Agnes, and we'll roll back. So Agnes, did any of your instincts get you in trouble or create awkwardness for you? Yours are mostly positive and functional.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. Basil?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. Yeah, you didn't get a chance to fight dirty. Maybe next time.
Not yet. Yeah. Soon.
Rooster?
I mean, I think I like played into my deferring to nobility thing. I don't know if it necessarily got me in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
I mean, yeah, I don't think so. Like, yeah, I don't think any of that got you in trouble yet. And then the woodsman.
Actually, sorry, I take that back.
Okay.
Me going off on this whole bullshit trying to be sneaky thing was totally because Austin's character told me to.
It's true.
Oh
Despite the fact
yeah.
that I'm shit at
You
it.
yeah, you
Actually,
should not have done that. Fair. Cool.
Yeah. I think that merits one.
Okay, yeah, totally take the fate point. Woodsman, did your instinct get you in trouble? I don't think you were given an opportunity to be skeptical of someone who didn't deserve it. But soon. Soon. Okay, and then lastly, for fate points, we do traits. So look at your traits, and if any of your traits altered the direction of the story in an unforeseen way or made your life difficult, you'll get another fate point for it. So we'll start with the woodsman. I mean, yours are like clear, right? Like alcoholic made your life more difficult.
Yeah, the alcoholic, probably the fearless. Both of those definitely did.
Yes, yeah. So take two fate for that, for sure. And then Rooster, how about you? Any traits get you points?
Lame kind of was like it came up at the very least. I mean,
Yeah, you tried to run several times.
Yep, I was trying to hustle around.
Yeah, I think probably that.
I think that's probably the only one. Nothing else was really like super dramatically interesting.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. Basil, how about
I
you?
don't think so. No, I've had a pretty easy time so far. You know, I hung out and talked philosophy and
Yeah, I like how if we put you in that situation with the knife throwing and everything,
right.
two of your traits would have come into play, like cowardly and like mark of privilege. Like, oh no, I can't kill a peasant.
Right. There is part of me that wants to talk cowardly, but in the end, I took action. Like there was a bit of me by sending Rooster off to go do a thing and letting the woodman go do stuff. That wasn't me trying to be cowardly, but that didn't like come up in any negative sense. So
Well, if you had explicitly been like, I'm gonna put you in danger to protect myself, or like I'm gonna put us all in danger, or something bad is gonna happen because I don't want to get in a fight, you can be
we'll get there.
You can be a coward in the next
chances
one,
next
sure.
episode.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I think so this is the thing, like folks in chat are asking like, well, wasn't the Rooster being brutish by like kicking those guys to death? Yes, but it didn't make his life more complicated.
Right.
It just means that he's playing into the stereotype. He's not going to easily vote that one off his character sheet later.
I like that one. I want to keep it.
Yeah, totally. And then I think probably that's it. I think it's probably just fate points because you can also earn, we'll go over it, you can also earn a fate point for stopping everyone dead with humor while in character. Having an obscure skill at the right time to keep the story moving. So being like, wait a second, I have aqueduct wise.
Right.
So for that. And then for persona points, you'll get these from resolving personal goals. So like doing a thing you set out to do. Capturing the mood of the table perfectly and driving the story forward. This is one of those like, wow, that was really good role playing like awards.
Yeah.
Mold breaker, which comes into play when your beliefs, instincts, or traits conflict with a decision that you have to make, and you play out your inner turmoil, where you're like, you really have to do this thing, but all your beliefs are like screaming, like, no, don't do it, or vice versa, right? You can also get points for workhorse. So if you were the most relied on in a given scenario, and we'll do this every few episodes. MVP for if you you're the one who drives the adventure to its conclusion. And then finally you get a deed point, which is the biggest, hardest to get one, when your character goes through a really significant change, where you like give up being the thing you thought you were and become something new, or like something really big comes into play.
Like if Rooster actually killed every single nobleman / woman left in the kingdom.
Exactly, yeah. When you saw the head from the last living nobleman, that would be a big like deeds point, because it wouldn't just be about accomplishing it, because that's just persona.
Right.
It would be about like, oh God, what have I become?
Right.
Like now you have a belief that's like I'm a monster, or like whatever. Right. Life is meaningless, and I'm gonna just take it from everyone who still has it. Cool. So you can use those fate points that you've earned to re-roll sixes. If you roll make a roll and you have sixes and you want more successes, you can re-roll them for additional successes.
You can decide that after.
You can decide it before or after the roll. It doesn't matter.
Awesome. Cool.
And then you can shrug off. You can use it to shrug off one obstacle of wound penalties. So if you get hurt, you can be like, I'm going to spend a point of fate and forget it. Now I wanted to, before we go, because Agnes, we haven't done your traits. I noticed when I actually wrote it down, you're a woman of few words.
Mm-hmm.
When you chose not to initially, like you made Austin's character make that test to engage you, because you could have just been like, yes, I engaged in a friendly conversation with him, but you were like, nope.
Yeah.
And that totally complicated things, right? Do you have any of your other ones that you want to, like, complicated your life?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Broken in is just like I'm a laborer, right?
Broken in is you've been stripped of the pretense of your own like big dealness. It's to show people who like might like you actually lose your what is it, your traits that reveal like if you have mark of privilege, you lose it if you get broken in because you've given up your.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't think anything else.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And so what you can do is when we come to think about your beliefs and your instincts for the next session, you can change them next time. So if you want to write a belief about killing people, Agnes, this would be perfect, right? Like you killed a person and you didn't fall apart. Like you didn't come apart at all. So you could write a belief that's like killing is horrible and I don't ever want to do it again. Or you can be like, taking a life ain't no thing. Like maybe it's not something to be scared of. Like, okay, like I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is that we're all setting up kind of future arcs for our characters and then playing them out as we go through. So think about how this session changed your character and look forward to kind of how that'll happen. So everybody can kind of look at that. So you're free to change your beliefs every session if you want to. That's totally okay. People change their mind all the time. Think about that between now and next time you play.
Brad.
Cool. All right. So let's do our end of the session business. So you guys want to go around and tell everybody who he is and where they can find you. How about you start for us, Austin?
I'm Austin Walker. You can find me on Twitter at Austin_Walker. You can read the stuff that I write at giantbomb.com. I have a piece going up Monday on Batman Arkham Knight, the way that Gotham has empty city streets and kind of a mediation on the notion of the city and the superhero. You can also find my actual play podcast at friendsoftheTable.net. We just started a new campaign. It's a really good time to hop on. We're playing a game of Mech Noir, and we're interspersing that with some like a weird thing I'm doing with Microscope and Stars Without Numbers faction turn system. So we're doing like a ground level anime plus noir, giant robots, like very melancholy and moody and funny. And then we're zooming out to do a kind of like, well, what's happening in the star sector in general, and like let's play out some vignettes about what's happening. It's been going really well. So that's at friendsoftheTable.net.
Very cool. How about you, Andrew? I always like yours because you're so wordy and long-winded.
My name's Andrew. You can call me at Commuting Crow. I do this show. I do another show with Adam on Thursdays. We just finished up Apocalypse World, which was really excellent. I'm looking forward to going back and looking at all the behind-the-scenes stuff in Post-Apocalypse World episodes that I wasn't allowed to watch. And we're going to be starting something new coming up. We're not quite sure yet, I think. Anyways, there will be more stuff. You can find me there. Love hearing from you guys. Love all the feedback from chat. It's been really fun.
Cool. Thanks, Andrew. Silden. How about you?
Thank you so much for watching. I hope everyone had a good time. I certainly did. I would love to see some fan art. Really, really pumped about especially Rooster. I want drawings of that clawfoot. You can tweet me at Silden on Twitter. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out.
Cool. Last but not least, Colin.
I'm Colin Matthews. You can find me on Twitter at SVNDER. I tweet about things gaming related and design related and things like that because I co-founded a small science startup called Endeavorist where we try to crowdfund scientific things. So you can check that out. And yeah, just follow me. And I would also like to see some art because
That's why we do it. Just we want the fan art so bad it sustains us.
everyone's character sounds super interesting except mine. And
So humble. So humble.
Whatever, man. I love drunk, angry Eric.
Yeah.
He's
No.
rad.
no, I
It's
think it's
so much better.
to make it interesting. But like my original description of my character's appearance was like really bland, and I'd love someone like riff on that a little bit with some more flair.
Cool. Yes, fan art is encouraged. Well, as for me, I am Adam Coble. I'm your GM. You can follow me on Twitter at Skinny Ghost. Follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Adam Coble, where I stream primarily role-playing games and talk about game theory and design. You can follow Roll20 on Twitter or Roll20 app if you want updates. And all this stuff with the map and the drawing and the playing of the role-playing games, you can and should do it too. So go over to roll20.net, make yourself an account, find some people, play a game. Because as much fun as it is to watch us doing it, it's even more fun to do it yourself. I'm going to start a thread on the Roll20 subreddit. If you have questions about the game, you want to post links for us, we want all of your feedbacks. So I'll go post that now, and then I'll tweet where it's at if you miss it. So thank you so much for coming. This was a really fun first play episode, and we'll be back next week with more of the Burning Wheel. See you later, everybody.
Good night.
Bye,
Thanks
Internet.
for coming.